Alright, day one. So we're going to run this thing for a couple of hours and run this new engine in. So for our first hour, we sort of got to keep this thing under 2,000 RPM. So the game plan here is we're just going to vary it. You know, we'll do 1500 RPM for 5 minutes and 1700 RPM for 5 minutes and 2000 RPM for 5 minutes, and sort of just run the engine at different speeds anywhere for 5 minutes up to 2000 RPM and sort of keep that under control. So we're cruising down the Brisbane River, up the Brisbane River, and we thought we'd head in towards the city and just get this done. Everything's cruising pretty well. Got my co-pilot Zan giving me a whole lot of shit that he's watching on whatever he's watching. That's good. So we knocked out our first hour pretty easily, and we ended up all the way up to Kangaroo Point. We made a turnaround. So now for the second hour, we want to run this engine pretty much sort of up on plane and backing off, so it's just sitting on plane. So as we turn around at Kangaroo Point here, we have to go through Brisbane City, which is a 6-knot maximum, no wash area. So for this little bit, for the next few minutes, we're just going to cruise through the Brisbane City here at about 6 knots. Not bad, you know, just traveling through the city here. Yeah, it's a nice little view. But once we get ahead here, underneath the walking bridge and then underneath the Story Bridge, the Story Bridge here that's coming up on your right, that's where we can start opening up this thing, and we'll start running this engine. Those little boys you see, they sort of have a little marker on them saying 6 knots, no wash. This is the recently built walking bridge in Bris Vegas. A little bit of traffic's on the river today, and the Sea Cat on the right there. So they're essentially our buses of the river. This walking bridge here, it comes from pretty much Kangaroo Point across into the Botanical Gardens. So if you're looking for something to do one day, why not just have a walk across the bridge. We're still cruising here at about 6 knots, so just keeping it sort of calm, making sure there's no wash. See the Story Bridge up on the right there. This marker coming up here, up on the right there, see that yellow marker? That's about the end of our 6 knot wash. Alright, so now we'll just make our way towards the Story Bridge. We can start opening things up now. Just keeping an eye on that CityCat that's in front of us now. We'll move into a position where we'll let them pass on the left, and then we'll make our way underneath the Story Bridge and then around Kangaroo Point. It's good to be not limited to 2000 RPM, so what we're going to do with the engine over the next hour is run it anywhere between 2000, 3000, 4000, 4500 RPM. We'll run the range up and down. We'll do 5 minutes at a time at say 3000, 5 minutes at a time at say 4000. Just sort of bed the engine in at variable speeds, but at the same time I don't really want to baby this engine. I just want to sort of use it and drive it as it should be driven. It's coming under the Story Bridge now. Looking pretty nice under here. Wind's not coming through the river at this point, so it's really nice and smooth through here. Just coming through Kangaroo Point. Get around the reach here. Here we are coming up towards Hamilton. New Farm on the left. We're cruising at about 35, 40 k's an hour, sitting at about the same sort of revs, 35, 4,000 RPM. The new engine's ticking over, just ticking over. It's nice. Some notes. Compared to a two-stroke, this thing is so quiet. Yeah, there's no two-stroke smell. Yeah, really easy. I'll have a look at sort of what our fuel consumption and what we're sort of using per hour. I'll rate that over the next sort of the next few runs I sort of do. I'll calculate that and work it out. But at the moment, it seems like it's just way too easy. 4 strokes of the go in this modern era. So we're just coming around and we're just heading out back towards Colmslie now. So yeah, it should get a little rough now because we're starting to get towards the mouth of the Brisbane River. Everything's opening up a bit more and the river is in line with the wind. So once we come around this bend here, yeah, things will probably get a little bit rougher. Either way, we'll trim. We'll run this engine at what speed it needs to be run at, and yeah, just keep running it in for a second hour. So that's pretty much our 2-hour run-in. You see Gateway Bridge up there on the left. So we're just rigging, getting ready to put in at the Colmslie boat ramp. So our 2-hour run-in. Essentially, first hour under 2,000 RPM. Second hour, run it up, but not redline it, but get it up on plane and back off, get up on plane, back off, sort of just bed that engine in nicely. So yeah, everything went well. Let's see how we go for the next run.